The following program is sponsored by SHP Financial.
Have you saved more than $1 million for retirement? Even if you've done a great job of saving and investing, what you do with your money next could have a massive impact on your retirement savings. Hello and welcome to Retirement Roadmap TV. I'm your host, Jackie Bruno. And in the next 30 minutes, our registered investment advisor with decades of financial planning experience will share 3 big opportunities for retirement savings over $1 million that could help your money go a lot further in retirement.
Saving for retirement is a great start, but it's what you do with this money that really matters. How will you reduce your taxes in retirement, generate income, minimize investment risk, and pay for the skyrocketing cost of healthcare? Welcome to Retirement Roadmap TV with Derek Gregoire from SHP Financial, which was founded in 2003 and now has over $2 billion in assets under advisement. This is where you can count on straightforward advice about how you could make the most out of every dollar you've saved for retirement.
Hello and welcome to Retirement Roadmap TV. I'm Jackie Bruno, and today we're talking about 3 big opportunities for people who have more than $1 million saved for retirement. Joining us is Derek Gregoire, co-founder of SHP Financial in Greater Boston, and they have over $2 billion in assets under advisement. Derek, so good to see you again.
Always good to see you, Jackie. And I'm really looking forward to sharing these 3 big opportunities for your retirement tax savings that could be especially powerful for families who have been really good savers.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear more. So what is that first big opportunity?
Well, Jackie, the first big opportunity could be one of the most important things you can do that could have a significant impact on your retirement savings, and that is retirement tax planning. So according to Kiplinger, many financial advisors and clients overlook tax planning, but making the right tax decisions can significantly boost your retirement lifestyle while also benefiting your spouse, children, and other heirs. We really believe that retirement tax planning could be the single most significant opportunity that we talk about today. Because even if you do a few simple things here, it could lead to a windfall of tax savings. Jackie, most people think that they'll pay fewer taxes in retirement because they're no longer earning a paycheck. But that won't be the case for so many hardworking Americans. In fact, many retirees could pay even more taxes when they're retired than when they're actually working.
That seems backwards. Why is that?
Well, when you think about it, when you retire, most of your income will likely come from tax-deferred IRAs and 401ks. But tax-deferred certainly, unfortunately, doesn't mean tax-free. It just means you'll pay taxes later. And since you haven't paid taxes on the contributions to your IRA and 401k, or the growth from your investments, you will pay taxes when you start withdrawing this money in retirement. And make no mistake about it, you'll pay taxes on every single dollar used for income. Unfortunately, sorry for the bad news, but it doesn't stop there. You could also pay taxes on income from Social Security and any other investment income from interest, dividends, and real estate. A lot of this money gets taxed as ordinary income the same way you were taxed when you were earning a paycheck. And when you add it all up, in many cases, it's enough income to trigger even more taxes than when you were working.
I'm sure it's a big wake-up call for a lot of our viewers, too.
Well, Jackie, people get blindsided by this because they never see it coming, and it could rob you of a big portion of your wealth. When you think about taxes, most people think about how they could save money when they file for their taxes every year on April 15th or around that time. But that's not where the big savings are. The big savings are with tax planning, and this is completely different, and it's especially powerful with taxes in retirement. Here, you're not looking at this year or next year. You're looking at strategies that could help significantly reduce your taxes for the rest of your life. You're coordinating withdrawals from your IRA and 401k, the income from Social Security and other investments, and you're even considering the impact on your Medicare premiums. You're also considering RMDs, or required minimum distributions, tax bracket management, another big one, plus how you could pass along more of your wealth tax efficiently. And as you said earlier, even if you take advantage of a few strategies here, it could lead to massive tax savings for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and let's say you do nothing and you just take a little bit out of that IRA or 401k, never gonna need it.
Well, Jackie, if you do nothing, you're almost guaranteed to pay the IRS a lot more money than you have to. And believe me, the government certainly won't stop you. They'll gladly take your money. And that's just one of the reasons why tax planning for retirement is not optional, in my opinion. It's truly essential.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, I guess. And can you give us an example of these retirement tax planning strategies?
Sure, Jackie. When it comes to retirement, how your money is taxed can be just as important as how much you've saved. And there are basically three different tax buckets. So first, you have the after-tax accounts. These include your savings, CDs, or brokerage accounts. You've already paid taxes on this money, but you'll have to pay taxes again on the growth of the income from these accounts, which is good. That's good news. You're making money. Second, there are pre-tax accounts. This is what we hear about, like your 401ks, IRAs. These are tax deferred, which means you haven't paid taxes on your contributions or the growth from the investments inside these accounts. But when you withdraw this money in retirement, you'll owe taxes on every single dollar. Finally, this is the best bucket. We call it the tax-free account. This would be Roth IRA, Roth 401k. And so when you convert a traditional IRA or 401k into a Roth, you pay taxes on the amount of money that you convert. But after that, all the growth and any withdrawals are tax-free. You never pay taxes on this money again. Roth accounts are also not subject to required minimum distributions, and the money in these accounts are not taxed when it's passed along in your estate. These are just some of the reasons why Ed Slott, who's been called the best source of IRA advice, says that Roths are the best possible retirement account that anyone could own.
Yeah, the Roth conversion sounds like it really could be a game changer for people who have done a good job saving.
Oh, definitely, Jackie. We have a long list of strategies with tax planning and retirement for all three of these tax buckets that could help reduce your taxes in retirement. These include tax bracket management, tax loss harvesting, municipal bonds, qualified charitable distributions, donor advised funds, asset allocation, timing capital gains, the list goes on, strategic Social Security timing, gifting appreciated assets, and there's so much more. It's just so much you can do in terms of tax planning, especially as you're getting ready to retire.
Absolutely. And that sounds like a lot of options. And I bet a lot of people are not taking advantage of all of these strategies.
You are very accurate, Jackie. I mean, most people spend their entire lives saving their money in tax-deferred IRAs and 401ks. We all do that. But we never think about the tax consequences with these accounts. But when you retire, you could end up paying or getting hammered by taxes. But there's something called compounding tax savings, and it could be especially powerful in retirement. For example, if you implemented some tax planning strategies that save you, let's say, $20,000 the first year in retirement, it might not be $20,000 in that scenario. In many cases, it could be $20,000 every year for the next 25 years. So if you're able to save $20,000 a year for 25 years, now that's $500,000 in lifetime savings, right? But here's when it gets even more interesting. When these savings stay invested, they could quietly snowball into $1 million or more. This is called compounded tax savings. And the best part is, you don't need to have tens of millions of dollars. Anyone with more than $1 million could potentially realize significant tax savings here.
Yeah, and this sounds like a big opportunity to make your money just go a lot further in retirement.
So Jackie, you can see the power of taking advantage of tax planning in retirement. It could be a game changer for your savings. But only a small percentage of people actually do this. Most people only get investment advice from their financial advisor, but they're missing out on tax planning and a handful of other critical strategies that could be just as powerful. So I want to offer a simple and easy solution that could really help our audience today. If you've saved more than $1 million, we will create a customized financial game plan specifically for your situation, and we won't charge you a dime, even if you're not a client. This way you can see what a comprehensive financial game plan can do for you, and then you can decide if this is the right thing for you and your family. We believe that's the only way to start a potential relationship. And this is called our SHP Retirement Roadmap. We make it as simple and easy as possible. Once we get some basic information from you, we then identify the most important strategies that could potentially make your money go a lot further in retirement. And I want to be very clear. This is not some off-the-shelf report that everyone gets. This is a customized, comprehensive plan specifically for you, and there's no cost or obligation. At SHP, our clients don't just work with one advisor. They have an advisor, but an entire team, all under one roof. And this is so important because when everyone is working together, this could have a significant impact on your savings.
Yeah, it really makes so much sense, Derek. And I'm so glad it's not just you, even though you're amazing, that, you have that entire team to help people. That's really important too. So If you've saved more than $1 million, schedule your initial analysis now by calling 508-978-4560. This is your opportunity to help you discover how you could make your money go a lot further in retirement. And there's no cost, no obligation. These appointments are on a first-come, first-served basis, however, so get started by scheduling your initial analysis now by calling 508-978-4560. When we come back, Derek will share 2 more big opportunities that could make your savings go a lot further in retirement.
You're watching Retirement Roadmap TV with Derek Gregoire from SHP Financial. This is where you can count on straightforward advice about how you could make the most out of every dollar you've saved for retirement. And now back to Retirement Roadmap TV.
Hello and welcome to Retirement Roadmap TV. I'm Jackie Bruno, and today we're talking about 3 big opportunities for people who have saved more than $1 million for retirement. Joining us is Derek Gregoire, the co-founder of SHP Financial in Greater Boston, and they have over $2 billion in assets under advisement. Derek, so good to see you again.
Always great to be here, Jackie.
Yeah. So let's talk about that second big opportunity for people who have saved more than $1 million in retirement.
Sure thing. So the second big opportunity could be one of the most underrated pillars of financial planning, yet one of the most effective, and we call it asset allocation. Now, when people hear this at first, they think asset allocation, they probably think stocks, bonds, large cap, small cap, that kind of thing. But when we talk about asset allocation in retirement, we're talking about something very different. We're talking about how to strategically position your money, not just to grow that money, but to help you give income, flexibility, and peace of mind for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So how do they do that?
Well, we have a simple strategy and we call it the 3-bucket approach: safety, income, and growth. Each bucket has a different purpose. And when you structure your money this way, you don't just have a pile of investments, you have a plan to generate income, weather the ups and downs of the stock market, and obviously the most important thing, help your money last as long as you do.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully we all last a really long time. So let's walk through those buckets. You said there's 3 of them. So starting with the safety bucket, what would go in there?
Well, think of the safety bucket as like your financial cushion. This is the money that you can access quickly without worrying about whether the stock market's up or if it's down. Now, it's important to keep this money working for you, but ensure it's accessible for emergencies. So think savings accounts, money markets, treasuries, things that don't have wild swings in value. So for example, let's say your car breaks down, the roof leaks, or you need cash for an emergency. This is the money that you reach for first. Now, it might not earn that much, but it's not just sitting idle either. It's part of your plan, and it gives you confidence to spend without stressing about what your investments are doing.
Yeah, of course, because every now and then you need something to go to. So that's the short-term peace of mind, and that is that bucket that we talked about, that safety bucket. So the second one, we're calling that the income bucket.
Oh, yeah. The income bucket, Jackie, that's where the real planning starts to happen. This is so important. In Kiplinger, it says that creating steady income streams is the key to financial stability in retirement. That's how important it is. This is money that's designed to generate consistent and reliable income month after month, year after year, to help you cover your expenses in retirement. So let's take a couple. We'll call Mary and John in this example. And they've saved, let's call it $1.5 million for retirement. So we look at this $1.5 million, and we start by carving out $700,000 for income. This goes into tools that are built to help pay them, like high-quality bonds, dividend-paying investments, CDs, treasuries, real estate income, some cases annuities. Now, not all annuities are the same, but sometimes they can be a tool in certain situations. Either way here, the goal is not to swing for the fences, but to generate dependable income in a conservative way. They can still have money set aside for growth, but they have to take care of the safety and income bucket first, even if they're retired. We're creating that longevity plan for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's learn about that growth bucket.
Yeah, so obviously, once you have the essentials, right, your short-term needs, your medium-term needs, that's a safety and income buckets, and we're using all different instruments in those buckets. We look at the growth bucket, and this is all about the long game. This is where you have time. This is money you definitely don't need right away, so it can stay invested in things like stocks, exchange-traded funds, mutual funds. These type of investments have historically given really high returns over time. However, it's volatile. So in Mary and John's case, we keep $700,000 in the growth bucket. Now, why is this so powerful? Because when the market's up, you could take advantage of that growth. And when the market's down, like we saw in 2008 financial crisis or many other pandemics and situations that we've seen over the years, you're not forced to sell your investments at a loss just to pay your bills. You're giving that growth bucket time to recover, which is one of the smartest things you can do in retirement because why? We set up the safety and income bucket so we can let that growth bucket run its course.
Absolutely. So safety gives you access and income pays the bills, and that growth bucket is really how you manage your money for the long term.
That's exactly right, Jackie. Safety, income, and growth. And each bucket has a very specific yet very different job. And when they all work together, the goal is to create confidence that enables you to enjoy your retirement. That's the real benefit of this strategy. You're not just hoping things work out. You really have a thoughtful plan for your money.
So you're not just solving the income piece, you're actually helping people discover what retirement could possibly be.
Yeah, the possibilities sometimes are endless, but people just don't know. And some people realize during this process that they could retire much sooner than they thought. Others realize they can spend more and still be okay. And in some cases, their plan might even reveal they need to work just a bit longer, but at least they know. The key is you're no longer guessing. Now you have a real plan.
That's great. I absolutely love that. And I imagine that's really where the customization comes in.
Oh, 100%, Jackie. Everyone's different. I mean, we customize the balance in that safety income growth for each person and family based on their goals, their income needs, and their risk tolerance. And the best part, once it's set up, the plan can be adjusted as life changes. I mean, life changes, we guarantee that.
So, Derek, thanks so much for breaking this down today. I really, really learned a lot. And I hope you viewers learned a lot, too, about how your strategy and what your goals could do for you specifically as you age and face retirement.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right, Jackie. And most people are in the same boat. They've saved and invested their money for retirement. But outside of that, they don't really have a financial game plan. There's no plan for taxes, managing investment risk, paying for healthcare, generating income, or legacy planning. But yet, when you think about it, these are the very things that could make your money go a lot further in retirement and just knowing you have things covered. So I want to offer a simple and easy solution that can help fix this problem for a lot of people watching the show today. If you've saved more than $1 million, we will create a customized financial game plan specifically for your situation. And we won't charge you a dime, even if you're not a client. This way you can see what a comprehensive financial game plan can specifically do for you, and then you can decide if this is the right thing for you and your family. And we believe that's the only way to start a potential relationship. It's called our SHP Retirement Roadmap. We'll make this simple and easy for you. First, we'll get some basic information from you. Our team and I will then identify the most important strategies that strive to make your money go a lot further in retirement. And to be clear, this is not some off-the-shelf report that everyone gets. This is a customized plan specifically for you, and there's no cost or obligation. At SHP, our clients don't just work with one advisor. They have that advisor, but they have an entire team working on their behalf, all under one roof. This is really important because when everyone's working together, this can make your money go a lot further in retirement.
Yep, and that is the goal, isn't it? So I love that you have that entire team too, because while people can call and say, I want to talk to Derek, there are a lot of people that they could talk to, and that means they can get in a little sooner, I imagine.
Also, it's just important to have different people who specialize in different areas of their plan.
Great point. So if you've saved more than $1 million, schedule your initial analysis now by calling 508-978-4560. And remember, this is your opportunity to help discover how you could make your money go a lot further in retirement. And as Derek said, there's no cost or obligation. These appointments, though, are on a first-come, first-served basis, so don't wait. Get started by scheduling your initial analysis now by calling 508-978-4560. When we come back, Derek will share one final opportunity that could help make your savings go a lot further in retirement.
You're watching Retirement Roadmap TV with Derek Gregoire from SHP Financial. This is where we tackle the toughest challenges with retirement planning today, like reducing your taxes, generating income, minimizing your investment risk, and paying for the skyrocketing cost of healthcare. And now back to Retirement Roadmap TV.
Hello and welcome to Retirement Roadmap TV. I'm Jackie Bruno, and today we're talking about 3 big opportunities for people who have more than $1 million in retirement savings. Joining us is Derek Gregoire, co-founder of SHP Financial, and they're in Greater Boston. They have over $2 billion in assets under advisement, so you definitely know what you're doing. Thanks so much for joining us today, Derek.
Jackie, always good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. The third big opportunity for families who have more than $1 million in retirement savings.
Sure thing. So the third opportunity, and maybe the biggest one of all, what I'm talking about, it's creating a comprehensive financial game plan. There have been a number of studies on the benefits of having a comprehensive plan. One was from Charles Schwab, which found that families who had a written plan had 3 times the net worth of families who did not.
Yeah, that's really important to know. So just having a plan can really make a difference.
It potentially can, Jackie. And so let me explain. So most people have saved for retirement. Some of these people have even done a really good job of investing, right? But that's just a portfolio, not a financial game plan for retirement. So if you look at this chart, this is what most people have done to prepare for retirement. They have an investment portfolio, but that's it. And as you can see, when you look at an investment plan, right? Let's say you have an advisor you meet with once a year and just have a portfolio. That's only having 20% of what a full plan looks like in the retirement planning puzzle.
Yeah, so what else should people be planning for, really?
Well, really, one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle is reducing your taxes in retirement. And we talked about this earlier in the show. It's not about how much you save. It's really about how much you keep. And taxes could play a huge role, especially for good savers. So if you take advantage of some retirement tax planning strategies, it could have a massive impact on your savings. Now, I'm not talking about filing your taxes every April. I'm talking about true retirement tax planning, where you're looking at how you could help potentially reduce the amount of taxes that you'll pay in retirement. Now you can see that investments in retirement tax planning, we're getting there, but we're still only 40% towards what we think is a comprehensive plan, which means there are still some critical pieces missing, things that could have a significant impact on your savings. And one of those is having a plan to generate income in retirement. We just talked about this in the last segment, right? There's a big difference between spending down your savings, which is watching your savings get smaller and smaller every month, versus having a plan to generate consistent and reliable income every month, quarter, year going forward. You want your money working for you to generate income from several different uncorrelated sources. And given the financial struggles that we've seen with Social Security, this makes this piece even more important. So you add this to the piece of our chart, we have a plan for investing, reducing taxes, and generating income in retirement. You can see, right, if you compare this to where you are now, this is now starting to look like a plan. But we're still only about 60% of the way there.
Yeah, only 60%. So we got 40% more to go. I can do math too. So what's the next big piece that people are really missing in this?
With that math, we might hire you. We might be a good candidate.
I'm not really the math whiz, so I'll leave that to you.
Well, next we look at how to pay for the skyrocketing cost of healthcare and long-term care. These expenses are significant, even if you're healthy, and they're rising faster than the rate of inflation. We've seen it. In fact, healthcare could be your second largest expense in retirement next to taxes. According to a recent study in Barron's, a 65-year-old retiring today can expect to spend an average of $172,000 in healthcare expenses only throughout their retirement.
Wow, $172,000. That is a staggering number.
Well, the sad part is that's just the average for one person. So a married couple, you might want to budget $344,000. And if you or your spouse have any health issues, unfortunately, you could be on the hook for even more. And if you make it to the age of 65, which is great news if you're healthy, you actually have a 70% chance of needing some sort of long-term care. And it does not come cheap either, unfortunately. Back to Kiplinger, a study that they did, they said the average cost for a private room in a nursing home is more than $100,000 a year. A part-time home health care aide costs nearly $70,000 a year. And let's face it, that number is generally a lot more here in the Northeast. And Medicare typically doesn't cover these costs. So these are significant expenses that you need to prepare for within an overall plan.
Yeah, and those numbers are really, really eye-opening, Derek. So thanks for explaining that to us. So there has to be more. What's the final piece that we're missing here?
We're getting there. I think the final piece of the puzzle is legacy and estate planning. See, one of the most important things you can do for your family is to help ensure that when you do unfortunately pass away, you want your money to go in the most efficient way to the people that you love and not necessarily to the government. And there are some trap doors that people can fall into. You just don't want decades of hard work and sacrifice, all that work you've done to go to waste. And you don't want to have to pay more taxes on your estate than necessary. So legacy planning, it can not only help ensure that the money goes to the people that you love, but also relieve them of having to make very difficult decisions during what we know is an already very painful time.
Absolutely. And that is a really important final step you really cannot forget about. So making sure you take care of all the people that you love, and then there's your estate that is handled exactly how you want it to be. So all the major pieces are really covered. And that includes, of course, as you said, investments, taxes, generating income, healthcare, and of course, that last piece, legacy planning.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Jackie. And when you compare these two charts now, you can see that most people we see for the first time before they come into SHP, most people have only one of these pieces covered in the retirement planning puzzle. And unfortunately, this is where so many financial advisors stop and they build an investment portfolio, sit down with you once a year, and that's your plan. But if you want to help ensure that you have a much higher chance of retiring successfully and for eliminating any big financial surprises in your retirement, then in my opinion, you must have a plan for all these other things we talked about. Ultimately, this is what could help your money go a lot further in retirement. We work with families that have saved anywhere from $1 million all the way up to $25 million. And we believe in creating value first. So if you save more than $1 million, we'll create a customized financial game plan specifically for your financial situation, and we won't even charge you a dime for it, even if you're not a client. This way you can see what a comprehensive financial game plan can specifically do for you, and then you can take that information and decide if it's the right thing for you and your family. We believe that's the only way to start a potential relationship, and it's called our SHP Retirement Roadmap. We make this as simple and easy as possible for you. First, we'll get some basic information from you, and then our team and I here at SHP will identify the most important strategies that could help make your money go a lot further in retirement. But to be clear, this is not some off-the-shelf report. This is a true comprehensive and customized plan specifically for you, and there's no cost or obligation. And this is really important because when everything is handled under one roof, everything is working together. And this is what can help you make the most out of every dollar that you save for retirement. And as I'm talking, I know that so many watching aren't getting close to this level of planning. And if you're like me, I certainly don't want to take any chances with retirement. And I certainly don't want to go into retirement with a partial plan, Jackie. You need a comprehensive plan that looks at all these areas today and ongoing.
Absolutely, because you can make a plan and things can go awry. So thanks so much for that, Derek.
Sure.
So if you've saved more than $1 million, schedule your initial analysis now by calling 508-978-4560. This is your opportunity to discover ways to help make your money go a lot further in retirement. And remember, there's no cost, no obligation. These appointments, however, are on a first-come, first-served basis, so don't wait. Get started by scheduling your initial analysis now by calling 508-978-4560. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for watching Retirement Roadmap TV with Derek Gregoire of SHP Financial, and we look forward to seeing you again. And remember, it's not what you make, it's what you keep.
The previous program was sponsored by SHP Financial.